We are back in sunny South Australia, which was actually stormy South Australia last night. But yeah, really nice day here today, and back over here with my cousin Robbie and a mate of mine, Brock. And this is a trip where, if all goes well, we drive the F350 back to Western Australia. So we're just out at my brother's farm, hanging out at the lake this morning, and we'll show you what we're calling home for a couple of days. It doesn't get a lot better than waking up to this. So we got the little cottage deal up here. And this is what the place we're going to call home for a couple of nights while we're doing a little bit of work before we get going. Alright, so we've just given this a bath. We've been working on it all day off camera. I would have liked to have done some videoing, but we really only had one day to sort of get this happening. So what have we done today? We've fitted mirrors, we've fitted wipers, we've adjusted brakes, we've fitted new master cylinder, all kinds of different little sort of finishy off things, some window seals that didn't get done last time I was here. Yeah, but we got it looking sharp, and we're about to head for our accommodation for the night and give you some updates along the way, because this is really the first time we're about to put it out on the highway. Well, the truck survived its first, 30 Ks, 40 Ks, drove really well, brakes are awesome, so I'm glad that we had that master cylinder rebuilt. That was definitely a thing. Robbie adjusted them all up today, and that definitely made it a thing, so excuse me, flies are fun. But yeah, we'll sort of show you how it's going. These two boys over here saved the day. We got shit tons done today. But check it out. Backed up here at the old cottage, looks the part, everything's where it's supposed to be, not too much oil underneath, has got a small, what we think's probably a rear main or back of the sump gasket leak, but we haven't done anything with this motor other than the outside sort of accessories, so things like that are to be expected. A few race tyres on there that have got to go back to Perth, which is all registered. We got all the lights all working. It's been fully rewired, but we put on all the clearance lamps and that today. Hung the rear mud flaps and all that today as well. So yeah, she's definitely looking good. Cheers. crosser at my uncle's farm, and shit's about to get real.
Quickly. Okay, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I'd say that is out, Robbie, yeah. That's fair now. Hold that. This is like... Oh, I got it like this. I could go down. I got it like... Oh, yeah, so this is fucking half control of that. It's going to fall that way, yeah. It's going to fall back. At least it's going to fall on the head, so it won't like. What's the prediction? Away from Harry. Where's Harry?
So we are loaded, and we've done about half an hour to an hour up the road. Just stopped, fueled up the truck, got heaps of drinks, checked the straps and had a bit of a look around. Just about to check the tyre pressures and things like that before we sort of start to get right into it. So here's where we are. The old truck's loaded down. So we're cruising along pretty well. Bit of rain and the wipers even work, so that's a bonus. Nothing really to report. So the old girl's just doing truck things. Just keep on going. So we're just having a bit of a look around the old truck, make sure everything's sort of going all right. We do have a fairly entertaining rear main oil seal leak, but other than that, everything's pretty good. So we're in downtown Kimber tonight. It's going to have an early night. She's been a fairly busy trip so far, so time to kind of just slow things down and get into a bit of a cruising rhythm. But everything stayed on. So have a shower and have a good feed. But yeah, so far so good. Yeah, other than oil, like oil consumption, which I think is pretty much going on the ground for that rear main, everything's pretty good. So good trip so far, long way to go. Good morning. Waking up in sunny Kimber after some rain this morning. Just about to see if the old truck will do a nice cold start for me first thing this morning. Sitting out here in the rain. Ride for life. Hopefully that's the sign of a good day. I'm going to go down and hand the key in and go see what's out there. blowy as hell, so we'll keep it pretty short. But we're at Nullarbor Roadhouse. Just had a huge burger. We are, however, piloting our five-cylinder F350. This engine had a little bit of a flutter in it that developed and has worsened into a exhaust valve on number one cylinder. But even blowing its guts out, we're still able to do sort of 95, which we were doing anyway. Obviously it'll knock a bit of fuel economy around, but you know, shit happens. So far it's maintained the oil, and yeah, unfortunately doesn't quite sound as nice as it did, but shit happens. Still going. Let's get back into it. Well, we've got updates. So it's been an adventurous day, still going. We dropped a cylinder early in the day. we had a exhaust valve going out that just progressively got worse. Hasn't really held us up much. Other than that, you know, the oil consumption issue is still there, definitely. But yeah, sort of roaring along, and truck died, and our brand new fuel pump went out. So definitely fortunate that we didn't throw the old one out. And I have always said that sometimes the new stuff you bolt on is nowhere near as good as the old stuff you take off. So old one back on, fire up on brake clean, pumping fuel straight away, so back on the road. We're just coming up to Majura now, so just checking oils and things like that before we head up Majura Pass, and then probably into Cocklebiddy for some dinner, and then we might push on for a little bit longer after that and find a campsite. Yeah, we've been through a hell of a lot of rain. It pretty much hasn't stopped until the Savo, so everything's getting pretty dirty. The truck still looks alright though. And Brock's just putting another one of Lucas Motor Honeys in there. This trip is proudly brought to you by Lucas and Penrite Oils. Anyway, back to it. Alright, last big push into Perth. Just had a feed at Southern Cross. Everything's going good. Still looks half clean from the front. It's been raining out here. Pretty much rained the whole way home, so combine that with a fair bit of oil kicking around, and it's going to need one hell of a wash when I get back. Been a pretty epic trip. I've come along for the last bit. Well, it's the next day, so as you can see, we made it. Got in about 7:30 last night. I was going to have the day off, but I was pretty keen to unload the Lodestar and spray a bit of degreaser around and get this, I think about 36 litres of oil that leaked out of that rear main seal. I get that starting to soak and get that off the underneath of the truck. So we're here, and that's going to wrap it up. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I wish I had filmed a couple of the little breakdown incidents, but to be honest, where the fuel pump went out was right on the side of the highway at Mundrabilla, in a pretty shit house spot, to be honest. So just got that fixed quick sticks and got back on the road. So we'll get better at doing these videos as time goes on, and hopefully you'll stick with us. Take it easy.